Hi everyone in YouTube land. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Ireland, as you can see behind me, the blue skies. So we're going to work on the Suzuki Bandit today, 600. This is part 4, video part 4. We're getting very close to completing that project. I'll soon have it on the road and hopefully have a little bit of fun over the summer. But today we're going to be fixing the rear panel, the crack that's in the rear panel. And it's probably going to be a temporary job if I can find another one at some stage. I do have paint to repaint it if I want to. I haven't made a decision yet on what way I'm going to exactly do that. So let's not wait around, let's get into it. Okay, so you'll have seen on previous videos that this part of the Bandit was pretty badly damaged. Almost split clean in two, to be honest with you. So we're going to try and stabilise that crack by putting a few pins in it with plastic weld. Now, just to make a point, in order to plastic weld, you don't need to go buying all of those, well, they're not that expensive, but you don't need to be buying stuff on the internet to plastic weld. If you have a bit of a soldering iron at home, that should be good enough. I mean, you can see the inside of the crack here. It's pretty large. So I'm going to put quite a few pins in this just to give it plenty of strength. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that now, just in a little second. Okay, so tools. What do we need? A couple of regular old CFD pins. Not the big ones, the small ones, because they're thin. You don't want these pins going the whole way through the plastic. You want them to embed themselves into the middle of the plastic. So that's number one. Then I have this electric soldering iron which has a trigger and you can heat it up, but it can be any soldering iron at all that has a bit of heat to it and can melt these into the plastic. That's all you need. A bit of a cable tie. That's optional. You don't have to use a cable tie, but it helps to fill in some of the gaps if that's needed. I don't think I'm going to be doing it on this occasion, but I just have it there in case I need it. So I'll show you the next step. I mean, some of you will have seen me do this on other videos. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll have seen some repairs I made on the SH50s and the like of that. So it's nothing new to use, but to newer viewers who mightn't have seen this, this is more or less for them. Okay, so next step, I'll show you in a wee second. So a friend of mine has borrowed my tripod, so I don't have a great way of showing you without, I need to use two hands if you know what I mean. But you just get your safety pin and you unravel it like this. Take that hoop out of it as well, straighten it out just to a piece of wire basically. I'll show you the next step then. Okay, so you can see the way I have bent this, and that's just so that it can get more grip when we go to melt it into the plastic. So next step will be to melt it in, but I can't film myself doing that because it's too awkward and I need two hands. But I will get the piece and straighten it up, and I'll put this here like this, and you just get the soldering iron and heat it up until it melts into the plastic a little bit, but be very careful not to go full way through the plastic, okay? And that's it, and you just keep doing a few of them and you'll stitch it up. Make sure it's as tight as you can get it closed before you go to do it. Maybe fix the other side with a bit of masking tape or something. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so you'll see that I have taped all this up and closed the gap as tight as I can get it to go. Now later on, if you're going to repaint this, you could put a few pins on the outside as well to give it extra strength, and then fill it in with some Bondo or whatever and sand it down and repaint it, and that would be that. You also do have the option of coming behind here if you're any good with a little bit of fiberglass, and you could put a bit of fiberglass over your repair then to give it even more strength. So Maybe at some stage I will do that with this, but not today. So I've just stopped midway through putting the first pin in to show you what I'm actually doing. So you can see I've melted the pin into the plastic a little bit. Be careful not to go through too far and put it out the other side. And then I've pulled some of the melted plastic over the pin then to cover it up. So that's what we're doing. So I'll show you whenever of this first part of the repair. Okay, so this is not a simple job, but you'll see what I've done here. I've stitched the whole way up across the crack. The first one I bent the pin because it needed to be strong here on the very bottom of the crack. Then the rest of them I just made straight ones. They're not fully buried, as you can see, and the reason for that is because this here plastic is so thin. And I did actually, if you look on the other side of the bottom of this, go through and overheat it a little bit. But that'll be fine because I can fill over that when I'm going to paint it anyway, and it won't be seen. But I learned my lesson from that one on, and the rest of it turned out just fine, you'll see, and it is quite strong. I'd be of the hope that this would not break again in a hurry. I might just get some of this cable tie and melt a little bit of plastic over them to make them a little bit stronger. And that's the repair done. But I did realise when I was doing this tail piece that there's another place up here that's gone quite badly damaged. And unfortunately it doesn't come together too well either. So I'm just going to have to stick a few pins in that, and hopefully I can sort it out when I go to paint it on this side. With a bit of luck, and it'll come up okay. And just as an example, I think I have an example in the shed here of a repair that I did before on the SH50 leg shields. So just give me a second and I'll try and find them for you. So this is a set of leg shields I've done for my SH50 before I got a better set. And these were cracked and broken the whole way down here. And as you can see, when they're filled in and everything before this was painted, it didn't look too bad. But I had no use for it because I got a better set. But you can see there was a crack here too, which was fixed, and you can't feel that. So that'll not show up when you go to paint it. And I've had this out in a few runs, and the vibrations or anything didn't break it. So seems pretty good to me. Worked fine for me, this repair. So make up your own. So sometimes if the crack's in an awkward place, like the shape of this here, you could have to get a little bit creative. So you'll see that this time, if you look in here, I've had to bend a normal house pin so that it gets both sides of the crack, and I'm going to do that with about 3 or 4 pins there, just to get that piece nice and solid in there. So there you go. See from my video today now that I have fixed this, stitched it all up in here. It's a bit messy looking on the inside, but believe me, it's strong. The cracks are staying closed, as you can see. That little piece on the bottom I can fix with a bit of filler. I wouldn't worry too much. This was a little more awkward. As you can see, that's a really awkward sort of a place to have a crack. But I did my best with it. You can see inside what I've done by bending pins and stuff. And it's solid now too. So I'm happy with my results, and that concludes our video for today. Please subscribe to Demo 690 and give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. Hit that bell if you want notifications when I'm putting up videos, and I'll see you the next time. Thanks for watching Demo 690.